Hola, hola. How we doing today? We
Good. How are you, Josh?
Oh, doing fine, man. Doing fine. I think we're having some technical difficulties here again. So we went to the zoo, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But we're gonna talk about as soon as a mic works. There we go. Bada bang, bada boom.
Is this the mic that works?
It does.
There you go. Great.
Wonderful. So we're having a very special show today. We are going to have the studio to ourselves, which they've given us the keys. We're here now. We're at the zoo. At G-Town Radio here.
We're at G-Town Radio. I'm Kevin Fennell.
I'm Josh Kerwin.
What is going on with everybody?
We're having a great time. We're here at G-Town Radio.
We're going to talk about some theater. Long intros, but here we go nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Josh, what's new with you in the theater world? Anything going on?
Well, as a lot of people know, the Fringe Festival there's a lot of auditions going on for Fringe.
Who doesn't love a good Philly Fringe show?
Absolutely. I remember I went last year to go see the Dr. Dog musical Swamp is On. It was like a super cool show. I don't know if anybody else got to see that. It was a pretty sick show. They had the entire Pig Iron Theater Company was like lifting up Dr. Dog in the middle of guitar solos and stuff like that. It was crazy. But so that's something that's going on. Got into a couple shows.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Over at the Paper Mill Theater. There's going to be a show called Catastrophe. It's a very odd show, and I think a lot of people are going to be either confused or very entertained by it. Pretty strange show about relationships. Kind of reminds me of like a early Woody Allen piece. In a way. But yeah, it's fun stuff.
That's going up. You're going to do that for Fringe?
Doing that over at Fringe.
How was the audition process? Good times as always?
Actually better than it's not commercials,
Sure.
Like commercial auditions are the ones that just destroy me.
Yeah. As they're supposed to.
So I do think that the theater auditions are far superior, and I think a lot of times you see a lot more. I find myself laughing at people's auditions, like in a good way, like, oh man, they're really funny, or they're really moving, whereas you don't get to see that in commercials and stuff. Yeah. So
you don't just laugh at people like, ha ha, I'm better than them.
Well, I don't ever do that. I usually get nervous. I'm like, oh man, they're pretty good, but
better man than I am, gonna get in.
Oh well, hey, I also have been lately seeing I've seen a lot of like good productions, and I've seen a lot of bad productions too, just because I like to go out and see. I mean, I've seen a lot of good ones. I saw Man of La Mancha over at Bristol Riverside. That was
our last episode.
Yeah, that was our last episode.
How was it?
It was incredible, actually. Yeah. It was the set is just beautiful. It was breathtaking, if I dare say.
Yeah.
Oh, I dare. It was incredible. Really, interesting way of directing the show. They had the entire cast on the stage for most of the show, as you remember Daniel was talking about. Yep. We had Daniel Bontempo on last time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was super cool. I enjoyed it a lot.
What are you talking about? Yeah. What?
So I guess yeah, we had a good time.
Sure. I mean, how was Daniel? How was the horse?
Oh my God. Great time. It was super good. He and the other actor who were in that were pretty funny. They actually got some of the biggest applause out of the entire show. I remember they were funny. I think there was a lot of the ensemble were some big surprises. I liked that. There was one dude who just had like the evilest like lackey voice in like the world. Like he had this like weird like like this like voice. It was really it was cool. I liked it a lot.
I've been seeing this thing and it's bothering me, and I've been wanting to talk about it. And so, Green Day's American Idiot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's now done just being on Broadway, I guess, and now it's going out to community theaters. And what bugs me is that Billy Joe Armstrong was really into wearing black clothes. Josh, it's in my face. Is it? I mean, does it sound okay? Yeah. What thing? Just take it off. Does this sound okay?
There you go.
Can you hear me? Sorry, we're just trying to work stuff out. I want to be heard. But the thing is that Billy Joe Armstrong was really into wearing black clothes and red ties.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
so now everyone that does that show is wearing, black clothes and red ties. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't get the point of doing that.
Black,
I mean,
red
but
ties and things like that.
It's just like the
overall
difference
aesthetic
of playing of what the show, the play is, and what it was on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so like he dresses in the persona of the play, or the play plays the persona of him.
The play plays. I mean, the original Broadway play plays persona of him.
Right.
But now we're not doing that, and so why do they have? I mean, I guess it's in the character.
Is it like? Are you saying that like the costume design is a little bit too like it's always kind of the same? Like they don't ever have a different interpretation of it?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
Isn't there a point where a show is supposed to breathe away from its original production?
I agree. Spring Awakening, the same thing.
Yeah, and
there's
like
a lot of
that kind
shows
stuff
that are like
do
that right now. Yeah.
And I don't think, is it just me because I have issues with musicals, or is it more of a thing? Because I mean, it's hard to say with like Tony-winning plays.
Right. Did
'Cause
American Idiot win a Tony?
What?
Did American Idiot win a Tony?
It was nominated for sure. I'm just saying in general, but like a straight play. Like if you, the original like what's the Mammoth play I'm trying to think of? Glenn Ross.
Right,
okay?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like when it eventually went to the community theaters, like in 1986, it's not.
It wasn't right by the book. It wasn't the exact same
It's
thing.
probably not the exact same like costuming and the exact same blocking and the exact same set pieces.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of shows now that are specifically casting people who look the exact same way as the original production as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like I heard about. I mean, I think they are. I mean, maybe not so much with American Idiot yet, but I think American Idiot's also like.
It's very young.
It's very young.
It just got off Broadway,
Yeah.
and it's starting this.
Like
now.
even Spring Awakening
It's
now is doing
super
differently.
young too.
Like they had the deaf production.
Sure.
They had. I remember there's a production at Penn State where they're doing a lot of colorblind casting for it, which is like they don't really have an opportunity to do because it takes place in Germany.
Yeah, I mean, and that's,
So, like,
I mean, you're not speaking German, so why not have a black guy playing
Melchior. Yeah, no,
Who
that's what they did.
cares?
They
I
had
mean,
they had that.
Like
and
you can't. I hate the idea. It's like, oh well, it's Germany in 1800s. We can't have black people, but we're gonna speak English. That's cool, though,
Yeah,
right?
right,
Because
right.
all those Germans spoke English.
Well, actually, in Philadelphia, they had a production of Spring Awakening like a few years ago,
Yeah.
but it took place in a 50s diner,
okay.
like the entire production. Now, I don't know how I feel about
Was
this
it the
because
play or was it the musical?
it was the musical.
Okay,
And they reinterpreted it all.
that's good.
Since it's got a completely open set, like in the original production, it's like
yeah.
almost nothing.
Yeah.
So they just like, I mean, like you really can leave it up to interpretation. They just haven't yet because I think people are still trying to cash in on the image.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was a production that was done in like the setting of a 50s diner. The weird part of it though is that I guess they cast Melchior as like the owner of the diner. So he's like 40.
It's a weird thing.
That's very uncomfortable.
It's a weird thing.
It's very uncomfortable.
I don't get it.
I
But
don't
hey,
either.
it's their
I'll be
production.
honest.
That's at least they're doing what we're saying.
I know
which is
they're
good.
letting it go somewhere. I mean, it means a whole different
Yeah.
thing.
It does, and that's how it should be interpreted. So maybe I'm just being too harsh on Green Day. I mean, how many interpretive productions of Cats do you see?
I mean,
None.
it's,
just
always
out
cats. It's never dogs.
there. I have a friend who's now going to be in the revival of Cats.
The actual revival?
Yeah, this girl I
Holy
went to
moly.
high school with.
Oh,
is
man,
now
that's
gonna
crazy.
Be in Cats on Broadway. She was, I think, on like a cruise ship doing it, and now she's going to be on the revival cast. On
That's
Broadway.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't know that they were doing a revival of it,
I
but
mean,
then
it
again, I'm not
definitely
hip.
Needs to be revived.
Yeah, I guess I should be.
I
I know more about Philly theater that's
How much
going on.
do
That's
you
all
know
I know.
About, how much do you know about Cats in general? 'Cause
I don't know
I've
anything
learned
about Cats.
So much recently, because I had no idea. It's just T.S. Eliot poems. And there's nothing that goes on in that play. It's just poems
Really?
told by cats. Yeah.
Oh dear Lord, I
Yeah.
had no clue.
Cats is a weird thing. I don't get. it.
I've tried to like. I remember the theater that we used to work
Yeah,
together
sure.
at Ephrata Performing Arts Center in Lancaster County. That place, they had a big production of Cats. You
Cats,
know, they
yeah.
did Cats,
It was like
and it
Cats.
was like a thing. I mean, I suppose it was a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea it was T.S. Eliot.
Eliot poems. Yeah. who'd have thought it?
That makes what is it? Orange Osage.
Orange
Osage.
County? What about
Yeah, that makes like the beginning monologue of the guy who of the husband who kills himself afterwards. He quotes T.S. Eliot,
Yeah.
and it means such a different thing
I mean,
for me
T.S.
now.
Eliot he's an interesting writer. Really good. Really good. I guess he really dug Cats or something.
I'm thinking,
I
but
don't
like
get the play. I
that's what I'm
don't
saying.
get it.
Orange Osage County, like, does that guy just really love cats?
Well, I mean, T.S. Eliot wrote The Wasteland. And these are like deep things, and it's probably not gonna be T.S. Eliot. We're gonna be the jerks. We're gonna look it up eventually.
Eventually.
We'll be smarter later. But right now, we're just making fun of cats.
So that's what we know about Broadway
Yeah,
theater.
Yeah. And that's what we know about Cats. We
I mean-
barely know anything about the real life things.
You know.
Let alone the Broadway musical.
I did hear about there was some video that I heard about that was like it was what's his name who what is it, Andrew Lloyd
Good
Webber?
old, what's his name? Oh yeah,
Andrew Lloyd Webber. Jeez, he did a production. He did like a performance of something at like some kind of Republican convention or something like that. So he did like a production of Cats, but replaced them all with Republican nominees.
Huh.
Nominational
yeah.
candidates.
Sure.
So he had like all of them. And Trump was like the big one, obviously.
Oh, great.
It was quite entertaining.
It's weird.
The idea of it, at least,
Cats
I
is
haven't
weird.
seen.
My
Cats
friend-
is super
My
weird.
friend Ani did a dance to McCavity's Not There,
Okay.
which is a song in Cats.
Yes,
About McCavity, I
Mhm.
guess is a cat. And
Right.
I showed up at the end with a shirt that said McCavity, dressed up as a cat,
Nice.
saying, "Did I miss my cue?" Nailed it, right?
Nailed it.
That's as much as I know about Cats.
There you go.
That's the list.
You've got one over me, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
1-0, Kevin.
1-0, Kevin.
Eat it, Josh.
Or
Or what's going on?
I don't know much about Broadway. I
You
will
don't know
I
much-
will admit that.
Do you know much about history? Do you know much about biology?
biology.
Do you know much about the French you took?
What is it?
Do you know much about the science books?
But I do know that I love you.
Me? Ah.
I do.
Will this could be.
And I do know that I love Philly theater, so we have a lot of Philly theater coming up. And this show in particular is, I know,
What
great
a
segue.
transition. That was amazing.
I'm the man. What can I say? I'm just super excited to talk about the Stinky Cheese Man and other fairly stupid tales because, guys,
It's still great.
Stinky Cheese Man is going.
Yeah.
This is the last weekend. You have to go see Stinky Cheese Man now.
If you love John Shiska as much as Josh and I love John Shiska.
We're Shiska. We're
Shiskaniacs.
Yes.
Is what actually we're called on the internet.
I think that's
Shiskaniacs.
I'm a shish. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
kebab.
I'm going with shish kebab. It's the low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
I'm going for it. But that's gonna be at Arden Theater Company, guys. You have to remember this. This is like one of the most important children's shows that I've ever thought would exist. I'm actually
jealous. The word is jealous to the people that are going to see it.
I quite
You're
am.
jealous.
I am. It's gonna be fantastic. I mean, the book is like, can you imagine seeing it on stage? It's got to be incredible. So there's that.
I hope so.
It's beautiful. We have a couple of other shows that are coming up here. I'm kind of interested about this, Hillary and Clinton show that's going to be at Philadelphia. That is at Philadelphia Theater Company currently. That's going to be going until June 26th.
Yep, that's still about Edmund Hillary and George Clinton, right? That's what.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
That's what we
exactly.
decided
Edmund
last time.
Hillary,
And
George Clinton.
Yeah.
That is the.
Few
those are-
people know that they were friends.
Yes,
That,
and
the Parliament Funkadelic
exactly.
also were big fans of going to the North Pole.
I mean, who isn't into both of those things?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Everyone should be into the Parliament Funkadelic.
yes. I think actually when George Clinton visited Edwin Hillary at the poll, I believe that's when he actually decided he was going to take the Red Hot Chili Peppers as his client. It's
Oh.
so he was obviously like very like delirious.
Is that what
He
the
was-
play's about? It's about signing the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yes, I think
Oh,
that's
wow.
what it is. Chili because they're at the
Yeah, I
poll.
get it, yeah.
That's
Yeah, of
actually
course.
the reason
Yeah.
that it's called that.
There's
It's
so many levels to this play that we've never seen. There's no idea about. So many levels.
yes, and it seems equally corrupt. But so we have a bunch of different shows going on here. I love I'm a sucker for Our Town.
Yes.
I just like a lot of like that Americana theater kind of.
Wilder, I hardly know her. Nailed it.
That's beautiful. So we have the Thornton Wilder classic Our Town that's going on at the Eagle Theater. That show just I end up in tears every time. I can't. I literally can't, as the kids say these days.
Is that what kids say?
Figuratively either.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Figuratively or literally. I cannot. I'm really interested to see. That's going from it started on May 20th. That's going until the 26th as well. I don't know. I just everybody relates to somebody in that show. It's just like beautiful. You can't
It's
not.
kind of the
You
point.
can't not. Yeah, exactly. And like I think a nice thing also about that show is that it can be interpreted in so many billions and billions and billions of ways.
But the set is always the same, Josh. It's ridiculous. Come on, people.
You can change characters and give them different motivations. You can and the words are just like foolproof. You can do whatever you want with the characters in that show. I think it's like just incredible though.
All right, we got to take a little break, talk about G-Town Radio.
Oh, we do.
We definitely do. We're going to try to come back.
I can't wait to stop talking, or I can't wait to keep on talking about theater. I
we
love it.
talking about theater, guys. We have a theater radio show. You're listening to it if you're listening.
We're on G-Town Radio,
G-Town
the
Radio.
sound from
We
Germantown.
went to the zoo.
We'll talk about that later.
Hi kids, I'm Ed Feldman. I got me a radio show. It's on gtownradio.com and it's on Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. It's called Morning Feed and it's with me. Maybe you remember me. I used to fix stuff on television, and if you call up or write in, I'll still answer your questions about fixing stuff or building stuff. But mostly I talk about, well, whatever comes to mind. Local news, regional news, national news, entertainment, sports, your life, my life, sex, footwear. It doesn't matter. You can call in, you can write in, you can be on the show if you're as interesting as I am, and maybe you are. Ed Feldman, Morning Feed, 9 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, G-Town Radio. You never heard anything like it. Or maybe you have and you just want to hear more of it, or you want to hear it with, well, me.
Hey guys, you should check out Black Tribbles on Z-Sound Radio Thursdays at 9 p.m. Z-Sound Radio, the sound from Germantown.
Those tribbles are so awesome.
I could make a booger talk.
Hubcap rolling should be in the Olympics.
Seconded.
Hey, my name is Joseph, and I'm from your neighborhood, Germantown. You're listening to G-Town Radio. Woo!
Thanks, Joseph.
And we're back. We are back. We are going to talk about the zoo. We promise. We've been talking about it, and we're going to keep on talking about it. And
But right now, we're gonna try to talk to our friend Connor.
we do have Connor McAndrews here on the radio. How are you, Connor?
Try to work that out.
Oh, doing well, thanks. How are you guys?
We are doing fantastic,
Hey,
man.
worked.
We are
That's
doing
fantastic.
Yes, we're so glad to have you on the show, man. It's good to be able to have you on the phone here. So tell us about what you're going to be performing. I hear this is a performance of Big Fish. Is that right?
Yeah, it's going to be a concert reading of the musical Big Fish. That was on Broadway, I think in 2013 or 2014. And so I'm pretty sure it's also the original premiere of the show with 11th Hour Theater Company, who part of their mission, it's called the Next Step Concert Series, that they produce sort of smaller like readings or concerts of shows just to get like pieces of theater seen and heard in the area. And since they've started the program, like they've like the Secret Garden they did a couple years ago, and the Arden Theater's doing it, or like they did Into the Woods a couple years ago too, and now like Theater Horizon's done it, and Limelight just did it. Like I think it's a really just sort of like beneficial program just to get more shows that are lesser known or kind of difficult to put up seen and heard.
Absolutely.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, so
Yeah.
so how much musical theater? You do a lot of musical theater as well?
Yeah, primarily.
That's
I do
awesome.
Musicals.
That's awesome. I've done a couple musicals myself.
Connor and I have known each other for quite a couple years.
Mhm.
Done a lot of theater together. Just ran into Sammy Cool a couple days ago, Connor.
Oh, yeah?
Just walking on the streets of Philadelphia.
Huh.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I haven't seen her in a long time. I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, it's been forever.
Tell
I feel
us-
like I ran into you like on the streets of Manioc a few years ago.
Yeah,
And then but it was like a breeze by.
It was. What have you been up to? What kind of show? I know you've been doing lots of different shows. What was the wearing plaid stuff?
Oh, Forever Plaid was at the Montgomery Theater up in Souderton, PA.
Oh, okay, very cool.
And what was that?
Which was like a little bit of a hike, but it was an awesome experience. It's such a great little like self-contained nugget of a show. There's this weird like show within a show idea that it's like these four guys who never really achieved like stardom or fame, who have their chance. Like they were on their way to their first major gig, they were like hit by a bus and were killed. And so the construct of the show is that it's their like chance to come back to Earth for one night and perform the show they never got to do.
Are they ghosts?
Yeah, so they're like ghosts / angels / like spirits.
That's
Like we all like the four of us would joke about how like we want there to be like a super realistic production where like our eyeballs pop out and like we're like rotting a little bit. But
like straight like zombies.
it'd be like a little morbid because we're
Sometimes
supposed to
I
just
have
look
to
like
live.
pristine when we walked out, you know.
That's amazing. It's like Field of Dreams, the musical.
Yeah, exactly.
They just come out in their plaid and they just want to play baseball.
That's awesome. I like it though. That sounds like a pretty cool show. Was that an original production or was that?
It was not. No, Forever Plaid. It ran off Broadway in the late '80s and early '90s.
Oh, okay.
And it was like something of a hit that they had productions that then opened in like Las Vegas, I think Chicago, and since then, like it's produced regionally, like with some frequency. But the thing is, like you have to have four guys who are strong enough to do it, which is often like the biggest problem because like there aren't that many. Like it's a unit set. Like there's there's no major set changes. It's just kind of like the concert venue.
Mm-hmm.
But and then like for it spawned a little bit of exciting news that they're going to have the four of us back, not this Christmas, but the next Christmas to do Plaid Tidings, which is the sequel, which is their Christmas concert.
That's incredible.
Gotta have a sequel.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right? So we're all pretty stoked.
Yeah, that sounds like that's gonna be super cool.
Yeah,
well, we'll have to have you on the show again for that one as well.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. So who are you playing in Big Fish? You're playing the Ewan part, or is that?
What are you?
No, I'm actually playing a couple different roles. It's done so. The original production of Big Fish was like massive in scale, so we're doing it's called the 12 chairs version.
Okay.
That like the original cast I think had like 30 people in it, where this is pared down just for 12.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
So I'm playing the one character is Zachy Taylor, who's like the little brother of the bully in town when the dad tells a story about when he meets the witch.
Ah, right. Mm-hmm.
And then who's the other one? I play the mayor of the town where the dad like meets the giant.
Oh yeah, the Steve Buscemi part.
Kind of like ensemble guy that's here, there, and everywhere, playing all sorts of wacky.
Cool. And did you know the show before you got this script? Like, did you know of Big Fish the musical?
I didn't really know. I'd heard a couple of the songs. Like I'd taken a class and someone had sung something from it, or like a friend had played me a couple of clips of it. But no, actually, it was unfamiliar. I actually have not seen the movie yet. That's like on my to-do list over the weekend because we start rehearsals Tuesday. I know, like I've never seen the movie, and then I actually have the book is coming like free 2-day shipping, like so I can read that real quick.
That's like going to be such a special experience, though, to once you see it, like if you see it like right before the show runs or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be super cool.
Yeah.
Where's it at? It's down in Old Town, right?
It'll be in Old City. It's at the Christ Church Neighborhood House, which is on 2nd Street, just north of Market.
That's right where I work.
Oh yeah,
it's like a block away from where I work.
Oh, fantastic!
That's awesome. And we're gonna eventually try to give away some tickets to that show at the end of the show. When we're gonna we're gonna play some games. So get ready for that.
Oh,
Connor.
you guys,
I don't know how much you're prepared for this.
Can't wait to. You guys are gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
But there's plenty about that. We'll talk about that later in the zoo, of course.
That later, of course.
But so
we were just talking about musicals and how much we feel. Well, I feel that sometimes there's not enough separation when it goes from touring to the community aspects. And I wonder what you thought about that, since you do a lot more musicals than I do.
There's we were talking about American Idiot as the biggest example of like a show that has almost the exact same aesthetic.
Yeah, no matter where it goes now, like when people are doing it in community theaters and high schools and that kind of stuff, it's the exact
sort
same.
Of variance in. It's actually something I find that's very kind of like important to do when you put on a production of a show, or especially of a musical. Like musicals become so iconic once they've been released.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually just because directors of musicals want to make it something that's so like a set image of something.
Yeah.
That I agree that American Idiot, it's usually the same. Or Rent, it's always done with a steel girder set, which works.
Yeah.
There's also part of me that agrees, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You don't have to completely reinvent the wheel.
I agree. I think there are certain shows that go with that certain look. I like hearing about people who are able to break the mold and make something interesting, but a lot of times it's I agree. If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
But also
sometimes.
I feel like rock musicals, especially because it's such a specific niche that they almost have to look like a concert or look like they can't. I was joking about it with a friend the other day. They were talking about Rent, how ridiculous it would be to see a production of Rent where you saw a giant apartment building coming onto the stage and it turns around and there's an apartment inside that you have to engage your imagination in a piece like American Idiot or like Rent that is so bare bones in itself.
That's interesting.
I can
like
agree
it's
with
even
that.
like just now they're starting to do like really pared down productions. Like I think it was maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
On Broadway there was a production of Sweeney Todd, which if you've never seen the original, I highly recommend it. It's on I don't know if it's on Netflix.
It
but
was
you sure
for a
you can find it
while.
on video.
Right. Yeah.
But it was like epic. That like every single thing was like fleshed out, and the production was massive. But then like 10 years ago, there's this crazy pared down production that the actors play the instruments, and it was done like the setting was like the walls of a like insane asylum. That it like much like any given like rock musical, that like it engaged your imagination, and you like it like clarified the piece to help understand things in a weirder but more in clearer way.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I think that's a show that definitely is at the point where it has room to change a little bit, because there have been a lot of different productions of it too, and I really like the idea of stripping that show down particularly, because you're exactly right. I think it gives you more of an opportunity to like really like get into the psyches of the characters.
And the thing
as
is
well.
that, especially with Sweeney Todd, that like things that are small and quiet are scarier than things that are big and loud. So like the fact that Sweeney in that production was so like, he was so like just, I don't know what the word even is. He kept himself together so well, but you could like see that ticking time bomb inside of his head until he finally like lost it.
Ooh, very.
And like
Patrick
during
Bateman.
Epiphany, like he climbed up on a set and like jumped down to the ground, and it was like so much more powerful because he was like so still and so put together through the majority of the first act.
I like that.
See, that would be like what you're saying would be like my counter argument is that shows need to have like room to breathe from its original production to find things like that. Like even like trying to do Rent with just an apartment, it wouldn't work. You're right, and it's nice to have, and like, but I'm sure that you could find so many interesting things to do. I mean, that's pretty much why the movie doesn't work for Rent, because it's it's too naturalized and it's too.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. The movies are big, and the other like, I think the movie is awesome that they got so many of the original cast members to do it.
But it was
But the fact of the matter is, like, they did the movie like 10 or 15 years after. They weren't like 25-year-olds starting
like these weird 41-year-olds.
They were like 40-somethings who had careers.
Still living in Alphabet City. It's like, what? This doesn't make quite sense.
Hey, man. Alphabet City's a great neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a great neighborhood, especially the way they show it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like
people throwing fire everywhere.
It's like they tried to like dress it down, but like didn't necessarily work.
No.
I saw something on the internet the other day about like they were like, man, now if you had people complaining about not having had to pay their rent for like an entire year, like at this point there's a lot of people who just be like, oh my god, I didn't have to pay rent in New York City for a year. Like this is incredible.
Yeah, those kids are living the dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Without the STDs.
Oh yeah, there's the whole STDs thing.
Well, that we don't have to bring up.
You're gonna die from.
But we're much smarter now.
But either way, actually, now that I think of it, Rob, what is it, Cavallo? I think I forget how you say his name. The guy, he actually produced the music for Rent, but he's also Green Day's producer as well. Yeah, like in their studio albums and stuff like that. Interestingly enough. But yeah, Rent is definitely a show I would like to see some different interpretations of now. I think.
I just feel like because the way that we do Shakespeare now, like in a different ways, helps you then see how great Shakespeare is.
And how
that's kind of what one can glean from the fact of like of shows now being kind of reinvented and being, or like musicals being produced again in simpler manners, is like if they don't hold up, these simpler productions just don't really work.
Yeah.
Like I've yet to really see one that doesn't. Like the other one that really blew my mind, there was a revival of Ragtime on Broadway.
Oh yeah.
About 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That because like the original production came under a lot of heat. It came out like same year as The Lion King, but again, like everything was fleshed out. Like there was like a Model T Ford and fireworks, and everything on that stage, and all of the reviews said, like, it's just too many things all at once. Like, you can't understand the story because of all this that's happening. And then when the revival came around, like, it was just this massive 3-tiered set. But aside from that, like, everything was pared down and everything was presented so simply that, like, you understood the story so much better. And it kind of was truer to, like, if you've ever read the book, E.L. Doctorow's novel Ragtime, that, like, he's so clear with the storytelling, and his words are never overly, like, what would the word be, like, overly, like, fluffy, or, like, that it
Absolutely. There's nothing that I couldn't stand more. Like, I've seen video productions of, like, all of those old schmaltzy, like, the No Nanettes and, like, all that stuff, and I, like, just, like, going over the top with sets and things like that. And, like, I can never stand that. Could you imagine a stripped down version of No Nanettes?
Yeah, see, I was actually going to bring this up. Like, anything goes. Can I just see one production of that?
Chairs,
like Spring Awakening it.
Table.
Yeah, just like one without a boat. Like, I don't need the boat on stage. Like, it's unnecessary at this point. We know it takes place on a boat, and it's just like it's that same set every show, and that show's been going on for too long. Is the answer? I mean, I feel like everyone had to be in Anything Goes at one point. I think it's like a force
well, the thing is, I think when they revived that show in the 80s, they were really smart because they've done both in my career. I've done both. There's the 60s version, which is like 3 hours long, and the plot like just plods along. Whereas the newer version, it is so extremely streamlined that even with intermission when I did it, it was 2 hours, cut and dried. It was incredible.
So you're saying there's like a longer version?
Seemingly the show that like
3 hours.
Oh, I can't believe that.
So there's a longer version of Anything Goes out there, like with more racism and more.
That's the old, like, there's like rumor that you can license the like 1939 version, but I have to imagine like it would be wildly offensive.
Oh my god, it has to be the 80s
like,
version.
The script from the 90s is offensive. Like I friends who came and saw it and were like, that show was so racist. Could you not like with the whole final scene with like. With them coming in dressed as the Chinese, ambassador,
God.
Like it's so.
Because it's not
like,
even
legitimately the guy who played Billy. He's like, and he owned it. Like he totally after we rehearsed it, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just doing Kim Jong-il from Team America."
Yeah,
but like,
oh god, that's crazy.
It's so fun. That show is so crazy racist, and like high schools do it all the time. And
I dodged the bullet, man.
Oh,
I dodged the bullet.
I was even in that show, and like when they do the ding, 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 it's just like this is terrible.
It's so it's just like.
Man,
I remember they added a gong sound effect.
Of course they did. Got that
gong.
Like
a big reveal.
If you didn't get it,
little plum blossom. Oh man.
Anything goes. So, I mean, if it wasn't for Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, Anything Goes would be the worst.
Would be the most racist. It would be It's I mean, hey. Luckily, well, you know what? I don't think you'll see another revival of Anything Goes.
On the breaks.
No, because like I mean, the last one happened and it was fine, but
yeah, I think it's gonna. I don't think that's good. That would go over well anymore. I think.
No, I mean,
I would think George Takei would have something to say.
I feel like big lavish shows like that are a little passé now.
I hope.
I mean, did you see
the revival of like the bigger revivals, like The King and I? Have you seen that at Lincoln Center?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's beautiful and it is like extremely lavish, but also like it still points out that show is super racist.
Yeah.
Just because like script-wise, it was like when you think about it, it was written by like two 50-something-year-old white men.
Yeah.
Adapted the score and the script. That it's like you guys.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Like I was still like weeping through it because it's beautiful and it was so well conceived. But at the end of the day, it's still like this is. It can retire after that.
Yeah, we can call it a day on this.
Put you to rest.
Yeah, that was the thing that I noticed about.
That
was what I noticed about when I saw that Bullets Over Broadway. I saw the tour of it, and when they had Zach Braff on Broadway, they like had like these insane set changes, and like it was just like it was so many lights and so much flash and glamour and stuff like that. And then when you went to the tour, they did something a little bit more digestible, most likely for the crew, I would think. And so like when you took those insane set changes, and you really wouldn't expect this from Woody Allen whatsoever. Like a lot of times, you'd expect him to like focus a lot more on the writing, but like it was.
I think that's one of his best written movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, great movie. Yeah. The movie itself, but they definitely like it was weird. Like, you know, when it didn't have all that pizzazz and stuff, I didn't think it really stood up. It was which I mean, you know, you got to have Zach Braff, John Cusack, I guess. You know, maybe that's what
that
it is.
Too. That usually helps.
Yeah, I mean, you know, beautiful men.
Interesting thinking about like, do you think that with Anything Goes and King and I, do you think there's a way to almost, I don't know, fix them? Or does that take away the artistic integrity of it? Because there's parts about those shows that are good.
But you couldn't fix Anything Goes, because even the new version of it, like, as much as like it is totally racist, it somehow is stylistically appropriate's not the word, but it's in the style of the show to poke fun at other cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so sad that it is, but like there's no way to just completely ignore the fact that was a part of American history.
Those are the jokes that
and
people
the thing
made.
is, like, audiences were laughing at it.
Yeah, they were.
People our age were offended, and people our age were like horrified after the show. But the majority of the crowds that came and saw it thought that final scene was hilarious.
Still funny to them. Yeah, there's old. I mean, they're old archetype jokes that people were laughing at for decades.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
sometimes
it also shows the growth of American culture and of I guess art in America as a whole, or comedy, I guess. But like, you know, more contemporary musicals like aren't so racially insensitive.
No, hopefully. Like, I was just thinking about like the Fantastics has like that whole like stupid thing about it where there's the rape ballet, because it's and like it's. I remember also I was in a production where they called it, at one point the main lover kid, I can't remember his name, gets called a monkey. And he's in the zoo. Look at the monkey, and we had a black kid playing it. And everyone's like, "Oh God, should we say this? Should we say it? Should we change the words? I mean, this is offensive if we say it." And I was just like, "This is, I don't know. This is."
There's so many weird lines that I mean, but it's old shows too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
It's crazy.
In that case, I think that might be just a weird situation that people put themselves in. But we're going to talk about a little bit more theater stuff, and we're going to have a quiz. We're going to have, not a quiz. We're going to have a bit of a contest.
We're going to play a game.
Play a little game.
Ooh. Yeah, so hang on, Connor. We're going to do a couple more little commercials.
And then we'll
play a game.
We went to the zoo.
Excited.
Yes, sir.
We went to the zoo. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will.
You're listening to G-Town Radio, the sound from Germantown. Hey, you're listening to G-Town Radio, the sound from Germantown.
Hi, this is Martin Gordon from Radio Stars and Jet and Sparks and so on. And even though I'm in Berlin, that's in a place called Europe, like you, I'm listening to G-Town Radio at gtownradio.com. The sound from Germantown.
And we are back.
Back in the New York groove.
So tell us, give us a couple details about what's going on with this Big Fish show. When is this going to be happening?
The performances will be. I was actually just looking at the schedule. One sec. It's going to be not this coming weekend, but the following one, the weekend of the 18th.
Sure.
Okay.
Is it Thursday,
performances
Friday?
Will be Saturday, the 18th at 8 p.m.
Very cool.
Sunday the 19th at 3 p.m. And then Industry Night is going to be Monday the 20th.
Awesome.
At 7 p.m. And there'll be a talk back. Actually, there's going to be a talk back after every performance.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, very cool.
And then you can go to City Tavern right before that.
Absolutely.
And that's where Kevin works. You can say hi to Kevin. That's me.
Oh,
hi.
Hey, that's Kevin.
And then you can go see Connor.
Ask for Kevin, and he'll have so much biz.
So much biz. Mad biz, brah.
Mad
biz.
So we have a little game here that we're gonna try.
Yeah, we're gonna test you on some stuff, Connor.
We're gonna have a Shakespeare off.
We're gonna have a little Shakespeare off.
So I'm gonna start with one show here, and you guys are going to name off as many characters as you can from the show, and then we'll see how far we can get here. So we're gonna go with characters from A Midsummer Night's Dream.
All right. So we're gonna go back and forth naming characters between me and Connor, because Connor and I were in Shakespeare together.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna pick a guest to play for first.
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
So we have 110 fans of this wonderful show we're listening to, and I need you to pick a number between 100 and 10, Connor.
We do actually have a couple that have joined in since the broadcast today. If you want to like our page, it's on We Went to the Zoo at Facebook. Obviously, just search We Went to the Zoo, and you'll see a very strange picture of us, and then also of Robin Williams and Nathan Lane.
Yeah, strange pictures.
From my brother. All right.
But, so can you pick a number between 1 and 110 for me, Connor?
87.
87. All right, you're going to be playing for Floyd L. Lloyd, Anthony Pierantozzi. Very nice man. And can you pick one more number for me?
108.
All right.
108.
So I'm going to be playing for Jim Cunningham.
Jim Cunningham.
Booking
agent in Philadelphia.
Sounds great.
Cool dude.
Jim Cunningham versus Tony Pierantozzi, and we're going to go back and forth naming Midsummer Night's Dream characters.
And we'll see if we get far enough, then we'll just go on to another show.
We're going to another play. All right. Started us off, Connor.
Hermia.
Okay.
Good.
Helena.
Very good.
Lysander.
Mm-hmm.
Demetrius.
Mm-hmm.
Titania.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah. Oberon.
Very good. Very good.
Puck.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom the Weaver.
Yep.
Peas Blossom.
Peas Blossom? Is that
Mustard Seed.
Oh God. Flute.
Flute. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid I'm going to name the characters that
have already been named.
No, that the mechanicals play, and I'm like, oh God, that's not right.
Oh, you can't do that?
No, because they play characters in the play.
Well, right.
Characters in the characters.
I care.
So many walls, Shakespeare. I'm gonna go.
We have it
with. Oh man. Snout.
Snout. Yep.
Snout. Tom Snout.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Oh.
This is so tense.
I mean,
there's so much tension.
Hestia, a character in Midsummer Night's Dream.
Who?
Fudge.
I'm sorry. Who is that again?
What?
Pestia.
Pestia?
Actually, yeah.
No.
Hold on.
Pestia?
No, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no. Oh, dang. So close. Oh, no. I was thinking of Philostrate.
Oh, nope. Okay. Let's say. All right. Let's see if I can name one more. If we can't, we'll go to another. We'll go to another one because I am running out as well.
The pressure is on for Jim Cunningham.
So much pressure. Dun 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 dun. You know what? Let's just go to the next one. Let's go to the next one.
All right.
Let's call it a tie.
We'll
call it a tie with Midsummer.
Okay.
We'll go to another play.
That sounds good. I say we go to. Ooh, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do Othello.
Oh boy.
Oh.
This is gonna be fun.
This one's
I
gonna
bet.
be. This is gonna be interesting. Or as Nathan Explosion from Metalocalypse likes to say, Nutella.
Sure.
I mean Othello.
All right, start us off. I
Oh,
think
no.
there's a pretty good gimme to go to start with, Connor.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Othello. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Othello's good.
I will take Martin Sheen from the. Oh no. I will go with Iago.
Very good. It's my dream role.
Desdemona.
Yeah, baby.
See, this is where we fall into problems because those are the three really important characters.
Oh, there's some other characters that are very important.
You're more important. Oh man. Oh man. You know what? Actually, You know what?
You want me to give you,
know
one
what?
to let you get
No,
to
you know what,
keep
guys?
you going?
We're almost out of time. I'm going to let Connor win because I can obviously think of
Let me
20.
win. I have one more.
Oh, he's got one more.
He's going to show off. Hit it, Connor.
Cassio.
Bada
For
Boom.
itself.
Bada
Boom.
bing.
All right, so
Well
Connor's going to take that win down, and Floyd L. Lloyd, Tony Pierantozzi is going to win 2 tickets to go see
Tony.
Big Fish next weekend.
Oh my God, that's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna
Which
get a
is
hold
awesome.
of
Yeah, we definitely will.
you. We'll get you some of those tickets. Oh, that's
Man,
fantastic.
Connor, it was such a great time talking to you. I'm glad we
Yeah,
got to
thanks
figure
for
this
having
out.
me.
This is super cool. So once again, if you want to go and check out the Big Fish production, that's going to be over on 2nd Street.
11th Hour Theater.
That's what you're gonna.
Yeah, check that out. It's on Facebook. They have a page, 11thhourtheater.com, I believe, something like that. Probably, maybe it's .org.
Absolutely. But it was great to have you on the show. We are going to. Oh my God.
Oh, we ran out of time again.
We ran out of time.
We were going to talk about going to the zoo because we went to the zoo today.
Oh man,
but,
we did.
Alas,
that's fun.
I know,
but I mean, we'll talk about it later at some point.
Eventually, one day.
You were listening to We Went to the Zoo today on Germantown Radio. We are the sound from Germantown.
I was Kevin Fennell.
I was Josh Kerwin.
And we had...
Connor McAndrews.
Yes! Nailed it!
Nailed it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Have a good one, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.